A nation lives through its language, a language lives through its literature. Every year, Nepali speaking people across Nepal, India, Bhutan, Myanmar, and many parts of the world gather to celebrate Vanu Jayanti, the birth anniversary of Adikavi Bhanubhakta Acharya. It is more than a cultural event, it is a celebration of identity, heritage, and the enduring power of words. But have you ever wondered why a poet who lived over 200 years ago is still remembered with such love and respect? What made Bhanubhakta Acharya so extraordinary? To answer that, we must travel back to the early 19th century. Bhanubhakta Acharya was born on 13 July 1814 in Chundi Ramgha in the present-day Tanhu district of Nepal. He was born into a family of scholars. His grandfather, Sri Krishna Acharya, was an eminent Sanskrit scholar who introduced him to classical literature, philosophy, and Hindu scriptures. At that time, Sanskrit was considered the language of learning and religion. Most sacred texts, including the Ramayana, were available only in Sanskrit. Although ordinary people deeply respected these scriptures, many could not read or understand them. Knowledge existed, but it was beyond the reach of common people. Then came a remarkable turning point. One day, while walking through the countryside, Bhanubhakta met a poor grasscutter. The man was digging a public water well for travelers. Surprised, Bhanubhakta asked him, "Why are you working so hard without expecting anything in return?" The grasscutter smiled and replied, "I may not possess wealth or power, but this well will quench the thirst of countless people. Even after I leave this world, people will remember me because I serve the society." These simple words shook Vanavakta to the core. He realized that true greatness lies not in what we accumulate but in what we contribute. From that day onward, he resolved to create something that would benefit generations. His greatest gift to humanity was translating the sacred Ramayana into simple and beautiful Nepali. This was not merely a translation of words, it was a democratization of knowledge. For the first time, ordinary villagers, farmers, mothers, children, and families could read, recite, and understand the story of Lord Rama in their own language. The ideals of truth, duty, sacrifice, courage, humility, compassion, and righteousness became accessible to everyone. This transformed Nepali literature forever. Bhanuvakta did not simply translate a book, he awakened a language. He proved that Nepali was capable of expressing profound philosophy, deep emotions, and timeless wisdom with elegance and poetic beauty. His verses were melodious, simple, and close to the language spoken by ordinary people. That is why his works entered homes, schools, temples, and hearts. His contribution inspired generations of poets, writers, teachers, and scholars. Today, Nepali literature stands proudly on the strong foundation led by Bhanubhakta Acharya. His influence extends far beyond Nepal. For millions of Nepali speaking people living in India, in Darjeeling, Kalimpong, Sikkim, Assam, Uttarakhand, and many other regions, Bhanubhakta symbolizes linguistic pride and cultural unity. His work remind us that language is more than tool for communication. It carries our memories, it preserves our traditions, it reflects our values, it gives expression to our joys and sorrows. It connects one generation to the next. That is why preserving one's mother tongue is preserving one's identity. Bhanu Jayanti is also a reminder that literature has the power to unite people beyond geographical boundaries. Whether we live in Nepal or India, whether we are young or old, educated or uneducated, language creates a bond that cannot be easily broken. There is another beautiful lesson hidden in Vanavakta's life. History often remembers kings for their kingdoms, warriors for their victories, and rulers for their power. Yet, Bhanuvakta is remembered because he chose to educate rather than dominate, to inspire rather than impress, and to serve rather than seek fame. His greatest teacher was not a king or a scholar, it was a humble grasscutter. This reminds us that wisdom can come from anyone regardless of wealth or social status. Even today, in the age of artificial intelligence, smartphones, and digital communication, Bhanubhakta's message remains remarkably relevant. Technology is changing the way we communicate. Young people are learning many international languages. This is important and should be encouraged. But while embracing the future, we must never forget the language that shaped our childhood, preserved our traditions, and connected us with our ancestors. A tree can only grow taller if its roots remain strong. Similarly, a society can only progress when it respects its language, culture, and heritage. As we celebrate Vanu Jayanti today, let us honor Bhanubhakta Acharya not merely by remembering his name but by following his examples. Read good books, speak your mother tongue with pride, encourage children to appreciate literature, preserve your culture, share knowledge generously, and always remember that true success is measured not by what we own but by what we leave behind for humanity. The grass cutter built a well. Bhanubhakta built a literary bridge that continues to connect generations even after 2 centuries. One inspired a poet, the poet inspired a nation, and that nation continues to celebrate him every year with gratitude and pride. On this Vanu Jayanti, let us pay a heartfelt tribute to Adikavi Bhanubhakta Acharya, the visionary who transformed the Nepali language into a literary treasure, made sacred knowledge accessible to ordinary people, and taught us that greatest legacy is a life dedicated to the service of others. Happy Vanu Jayanti. May the light of his wisdom continue to inspire every generation to cherish the language, celebrate their culture, and to spread knowledge to uplift humanity.